There's a particular kind of peace that only appears when you don't know what comes next. It isn't the peace you get from certainty or control. It arrives when the old direction has ended and the new one hasn't revealed itself yet. It feels like standing in a quiet clearing after years of walking through thick forest. You look around and you realise there are no signs pointing the way. Nothing tells you what to do. Nothing pushes or pulls. There's only stillness. Most people don't recognise this as peace. They feel unsettled, impatient or anxious because the mind keeps asking for clarity. We're trained to believe that not knowing is a problem. We're taught to treat uncertainty as something we must fix. Yet the heart experiences uncertainty in a completely different way. When the old path has run its course, there's a natural pause. Life stops pushing. The mind interprets that pause as a threat. The deeper part of you recognises it as a rest. If you've ever been in this space, you'll know that nothing is broken. You haven't lost your way. You haven't missed your chance. You haven't failed to plan well enough. You're simply standing in the gap between who you were and who you're becoming. The mind hates this gap because it can't control it. But the heart loves it because it can finally breathe. In spiritual terms, this space is essential. It's the moment when inner noise starts losing its authority. You sense a kind of openness that doesn't care about outcomes. You feel present without effort. You begin trusting silence more than strategy. You may not know your next step, but you feel held by something that doesn't require your certainty. That is the peace that comes from no longer forcing your life into shape. Psychologically, it makes perfect sense. When you move beyond an old identity, your nervous system is reorganising itself. Your expectations dissolve before new ones form. The pause isn't a failure of momentum. It's the brain integrating into a new understanding. It's the body settling into a different rhythm. It's the emotional system updating its map. What feels like emptiness is actually recalibration. Leaders often feel this most strongly. They sense that a new phase of leadership is emerging, but they don't yet know what it looks like. They feel the need to step back, to reflect and hold space for something more grounded. That's not indecision, that's wisdom. It's the kind of wisdom that stops reacting long enough for a deeper intelligence to speak. If you're in a place of not knowing, pay attention to the peace that's hiding beneath the mind's commentary. Let yourself rest in the uncertainty. There's clarity forming, though it isn't ready to appear. Stillness is part of the process. Trust the pause. Trust the silence. Trust the deeper rhythm that holds when your familiar landmarks fall away. Let not knowing be a doorway rather than a threat. What comes next will reveal itself when you're ready to see it.